Right, and share the screen. Right, is it visible? Is it visible?
Not yet, sir. Yes, sir, it's visible.
Is it visible?
Sir, yes, it's visible.
Okay. Right, very good. Welcome. Welcome students. Today topic is soil survey and its types. So we are going to deal what is the conditions of soil survey are there. We will learn all those things. Yeah, it's on me. Right. Right. Very first students, soil variability. As we discussed in the very introduction before starting this class, soil is variable. It has a lot of different properties. No soils are similar to each other. So, there is a lot of differentiation will be there. There is a lot of variations will be there. There will be different morphological structures will be the texture, color, structure, and origination will be quite different from one area to another area. It is completely depend upon the climatic factors and parent material, etc. So due to this, all these conditions, soil has a lot of variations will be there, and lot of interplay will be there. There is a lot of interplay between the soil forming factors and soil forming processes, and also some man's activity, that means the human's activity also will lead to some misuse some basic resources. So for example, if you use soils very improperly or unplanned manually, what will happen? We'll face a lot of problems. There will be lot of disturbance will be there, and we can't use the soil properly. What will happen? Finally, we'll end up with soil pollution, etc. So to overcome all these things, to overcome all the soil variability, etc., we are we want to go for very scientific study. We want to go for very scientific study. We want to use the soil resources very properly. What are those conditions? Actually, the vegetation type. This is one type of sample map for you. This is one type of grid map. We'll spread all those things. This is a sample map, and we need what is the decisions. Soil survey has different need. So for the person to person, so for example, the state level, we need some type of what where the dam should be constructed, where the agriculture land should be there, where the degraded lands are there. So to divide to classify the soils for the state level, this is the need. What demarking agriculture, urban development, etc. That is for the state level. For the town level students, for the town level, small towns like Hyderabad or Chennai, etc., they need some, as we discussed very in past, like Chandigarh, they have they use for the land, they use for soil survey for the residential use, for the locating land for residential use, for the roads, park, waste disposable, etc. At the same time, farm level, we agriculture, this is very important, which is, and we want to divide, we want to classify, we want to which land is cultivable and what kind of crops can be grown. This is very important, students. As a pedologist, as a soil scientist, this is very important aspect for us. So which land is suitable for cultivation, and what kind of, or which kind of crops are suitable for that particular system. In for that particular system, for that particular soils. This is at a farm level, which is very important. And coming to next is called watershed development. Watershed development is nothing but irrigations, to understand what kind of soils are recommended for various management practices. We can go for the soil conservation, soil water resources management, etc. You want to go for watershed management. At the same time, finally, it's agricultural research station. Students, any particular soil should be represented. So wherever the research station is there, that research station should have all kind of soil series of that particular area. Say for best example at Tamil Nadu, so it is a representation. So that should be a very The research station should be represent the entire area of this particular soil, particular area. So for that also we need a proper soil management or soil survey. So select the and if we have all those things, we can go for a good field trial for the agro. We can go for proper breeding of the crops. We can go for some agronomical experimentations, and we can do a lot of experiments in the particular research station if we go with a proper soil survey. At the research level, no way, it's very important to know what is the different kind of soil characteristics that we can go in the in research laboratory level. We go for the purpose level. There are different kind of soil characteristics that we can go. So for that also we need a proper Is it clear now where we have missed?
Yes, station level.
Okay. We'll go there. Well, this is regarding the research station laboratory level. These are the purpose of different everyone have a different purpose of the soil. So for state level we have one type of level, one type of need. Town level, farm level, watershed level, and agriculture research station level and research laboratory level, the different needs are there. Anyhow students, now we're going to see the next slide, soil survey. This is a very important topic today we are going to discuss. Soil survey aims, what is important? It provide information about the resource of an area. Soil survey provide the information about the resources of area, and also it gives what kind of information. It gives appraisal of the soil knowledge and kind and distribution of soils, and what kind of inputs requirement is there. If there is any deficit or is there any problem in that particular soil, we can go for input requirement and really and a response, and what is the response of those particular inputs. We can go for all the survey managers. And also it forms the basis. Soil survey will form a basic idea for the planning and land use and resource management. So soil survey will give the very foundation. It lays the foundation for the land use planning and resource management. Okay students, at the same time it's the basis for the farm planning, and which includes the major land resources. And so the survey will provide the what kind of cropping system should be followed in that particular soil, what are the tillage practice should be go, and what are the water control management practices we can go, and we can go which land it should be used for the disposal of waste, and what kind of manures and fertilizer should be used. It will give the proper index. So soil survey will provide all this information for the agriculture purpose. What kind of information for the agriculture purpose? What kind of purpose it will. So soil survey will provide the information about the farm planning. What kind of crops we have to grow, what kind of agronomical practice should be participated, and effective use of land resources, and water control, how to use the irrigation, and also which type of land is used, which type of area should be used for the disposal lands, and also what kind of manuring we should give. So it will give all this important. Also it gives the fertilizer requirements and potential productivity. So it will give the what are the fertilizer requirement and potential productivity also it will be provided. This is the main importance of the soil survey. So what kind of purpose it includes, just we have discussed in the So soil survey will provide all this basic information. It will provide the cropping, grassland development, forestry, soil and water conservation, and it will give information about the irrigated agriculture, reclamation of salt affected soils, reclamation of wastelands and runways, and restoration of runways and wastelands and other degraded lands, and recreation, what type of land should be used for the wild protection, urban development, etc. It will give all this information. We can go for proper and effective management of our particular soil resources. This is important, soil survey. So importance means, students, just we have discussed many things, students. If we go with improper any management, if we didn't have any proper knowledge on soil, what will happen? These are the few examples, students. Especially in Punjab, citrus plantations, all the citrus plantations failed. Why? Because there is a hard calcic origin. There is a hard calcium origin was there. So if there is a calcic origin, root system will not be developed. So that's what happened. This citrus plantation was failed in Punjab. At the same time, students, in one country that is called Iraq, Mandelian area, they constructed an irrigation channel. What happened? It contains lot of gypsum content. So whenever the irrigation water was released, the gypsum was dissolved. So what happened? Automatically the irrigation channels were completely collapsed. And also you can see some underground pipelines will be collapsed. What will happen if we allow some underground pipeline in vertisols where have a lot of 2:1 expanding type of clay? What will happen due to the expanding and contracting in the temperature variations or moisture variations? What will happen? The pipelines will be collapsed. Sometimes when we go, there will be breakage will be happen. So if we didn't go for a very proper survey, we can face all these problems, and we have to choose a proper soils for the proper use. That information will, that proper use will be provided by the soil survey. So soil survey defined. What is the definition, students? Very first, we want to know the definition of any particular subject. You want to know the definition. What is that? Very first definition, it is essentially a study and mapping of soils in their natural environment. So students, what is that? It's the study. We will study the particular area and mapping of the soils in their natural environment. We will go for natural environment. Or you are not satisfied with this definition, and there is another definition. What is that? It is a systematic examination. We'll go very systematic examination, description, classification, and mapping of soils of a particular area. Mapping, this is a very famous science nowadays, growing very well by using some GS, GPS. Very nice, interesting topic is there. If you are interested, you can do research after when you join in JARA. Anyhow, this is another definition. So, soil survey is comprising of many things, students. So very first, what will happen? You want to go for a field work. This is what I mentioned here. You have to go for a field work, and we want to see the what is the landform is the first way. For example, if you want to classify the soils of say one particular area. So okay, I want to classify the soils of Madhya Pradesh. So what should I do? Very first, I want to do some field work. So what should I do? I have to go and want to see the external land features. What is the topography is there? What kind of nature? What is the natural vegetation is there? What kind of landform is there? Any undulating landforms are there? We have to see all this field truth. We call it field truth or field work. And what kind of slope is there? We all go there. And after that, what we will do? We will collect the samples from that particular area. Say for example, as I said, Madhya Pradesh. I will collect the samples, and I go for what I will go for. I will go for laboratory analysis with supplement of field observation. I went field now. So I went field and I observed all these land features, everything. From that I collected soil samples, let NP, get etc. I did. And also, and finally what we will do, we will correlate, and we will correlate both the field and laboratory data. Then we will classify, and then we will classify the soils, and we will fix in the particular taxonomic unit. We will got all the taxon, which soil series is there, which group we have to keep, or which order we have to, which grade group we have to keep. All these things will fix in the columns. So like that, we will do for mapping of the soils. So all this work, what is called all this work? We'll do mapping. We'll do the mapping of soils. In olden day students, they will go for very plain sheets. They go for or some old topo sheets, all this. But now improves. I think after plain paper, they have started using aerial photographs. They are under aircraft they're taken. Later on, they're now at present we are using nets, and we are taking the samples. We will analyze, and we will give the information to that particular coordinate. We'll give our soil using some software like ArcGIS, QGIS, lot of things are there nowadays. Sort of development are there. So this is the daily thing. So we will demark the soil, students. So for example, we want to explain very clean. Say for example, this is a particular land. So my drawings are not that much neat. These are just okay. So I will. This is one type of land. So after all the systematic field work, after this is one type of soil. This is one type of soil. We will give some particular boundaries we will draw by using mapping techniques. What are those mapping techniques? We will learn very later on. So I will divide the soil. So here I can say here is very high nitrogen is there. Is one type of this in this boundary. Here I can say phosphorus is very high, or here you can say, so you think here there's some sea is there, some Bay of Bengal is there. So naturally seawater intrusion is, so I can say high salinity problem, salt problem is, sodium content problem is very high. So like this, I will demark the boundaries of the particular soil after doing all these methods, after going field work, laboratory analysis, and then I will go for mapping of the soils, establishing soil boundaries. I will draw all the boundaries and different kind of standards. What is the topographic map base maps I will prepare, and we will go further. And after that, soil survey interpretation. So after giving all this information, after giving all this, so so what will happen? After doing all this analysis, I will go over field and all laboratory analysis. I will make some predictions. Say for example, just now I said, okay, here there is a high nitrogen is there one area. Then what I'll advise, okay, no need to add nitrogen urea fertilizer in that particular area. In one particular area, I said there is a high salinity problem is there. Then I can again advise them, okay, don't go, you use, there is a salinity problem is there. So there is a, if they have, what is the characteristics of salt affected soils, sodium dominated soils? Natural sodium is very high. So generally we will go for application of gypsum. We go for application of gypsum and we'll recommend. So like that, I can give some advices. I can give some predictions also. That is what soil interpretations. We call that as a soil interpretations. We can give a potential of soil alteration uses like agriculture crops. What kind of agriculture crops can be grown? Grasses, fruits, forestry, or plantation crops. I can go all those things. So and later on, and also I can transfer the agro technology. Say for example, one particular scientist had developed one salt resistant variety. Let's say for example Caracal one of the very famous salt resistant variety, which is developed for particularly for Union Territory of Soil Science. Naturally he developed one salt resistant water. Just now I said there is a salt affected soil. So what can I say? Okay, we can use this variety in that particular area because that is a salt resistant land by the soil survey information. This is the most importance of the soil survey. And another purpose of the soil survey, naturally students, it is very effective use of great significance of any natural zone to provide the wise planning execution. And also we want to classify the soils. We want to go for worldwide development and land use plan. That is the purpose of the soil science. We need for the proper land use only. That is the major purpose of the soil science soil survey application. So methods of soil survey, students. Actually, students, soil survey have changed a lot from past to now. Even I can say it was changing. Now also it was changing. Science was developing very rapidly. Very students in very olden days, when when our generation was not came, scientists use some blank sheets of paper and as a base map. They use one big white sheet and they start using a base map and their steps to measure. They take measurements by using small chain or tape they use, and they will do some surveying in the soil. That is a very old method. But after that, they go on for the vertical aerial photography, which I said that is aerial photograph plane. In one aircraft, they will go and they will take the aerial photograph. And also in that particular, you can see 1:2. This is the scale 1:50,000, 1:25,000 scale that has been used rapidly as a base map. So vertical aerial photographs are okay. After the blank sheets was replaced by the vertical aerial photography. And also, and this by this helping they use the aerial photo interpretation techniques. So after getting all this map, they use aerial photographic techniques correlated well, and by using all the correlated as well. And most recently present generation students, which are personal, I'm doing research on this. So mostly recently remote sensing data was using. Remote sensing means earth observatory, earth resource satellite landsat imaginaries. We use satellite images which use at the advance of the synoptic vision by using some pixel images. The very clear cut images has been added. So now at present we are in this stage. We are using remote sensing. We are using satellite image data, and with that we are using some computer softwares. Like even nowadays they are using image processing techniques like by using ArcGIS. Even we can go for Python. We can use a Python No, Python is a computer language. Now can be used for the um, image processing. So nowadays we are at this stage, remote sensing stage. So these are the method students. So general transversing of mapping. What are this? This is quite different. This is what I have explained. So the very first steps also begins with general finding factors of executive recognize areas. So what we'll do very first. So I'm starting my surveying. Okay, anyhow, okay. I think class is too boring. I will ask one question regarding this. So students, now you have got to some idea what is the importance of soil survey, etc. So now I'm asking you. So I'm your boss. I think that I'm your boss. I'm your higher authority, and I'm asking you, go and survey them from one particular area of India. What you will do? What you will do? No one is answering. Okay, no one is interested to answer. Anyhow, well, what we will do, we'll begin the general fact finding. We'll go for fact finding means we'll see what are the conditions are there to recognition of that particular area. We will see, we will go and we'll find the what is the ground truth is there. And after that, they will use the aerial photo or satellite image, becoming common as there are many details. So we will use aerial photographs. And we will start later on, we will go for what is the local conditions, what is the landform is there, what is the geology, what is the climatic conditions, how much rainfall is there, all this meteorological data we will take. After the preliminary answer goes to after getting all this information, very first students, what the surveyor will do means he will gather some information of the past information of meteorology like rainfall, humidity, etc. And after that he will take the satellite, he will go to the field study. Then he will see the topography conditions, vegetation, etc. And he will prepare some legends. And all this information, basic information for soil mapping. After adopting all these things, you will go for scaling, or how much scale I can to do all these field works. So you will walk entire field. So you will walk for, you use some vehicle or something. You will go for every half acre or 3 acres or half a mile. You will take one auger sample, or you can auger. You know what is the meaning of auger? And you will go for profiling description also. You will see the profile. You will check the profile. What is the conditions are there? What are the soil forming factors are there? You will take most of the surveys what they will do, they will take the profile in highland, lowland and midland. They will take these three lands they will take, and they will observe all the conditions. Then they will go for general transversing of mapping. So like that they will do all the factors, find factors. So this is what students, they will pick up the augers. These are different kind of augers, clay auger, sand auger, coarse sand auger, riverside auger, pothole auger. You should all have learned in this in your period. This is the earth auger. I think earth mower. We was earth mower mostly. Actually, in most nowadays, farmers are using this for making pits. But we can collect the samples like this. You know, we can collect the samples like this by using all these equipments in a half an hour. We will see all those things how we have to. So general transversing of mapping. So by using this auger sampling, what will happen means we can see the layers, what are the different gains, if there is any gains or any river gains, or if there any alluvial, or you can see some if there is a highly coarse sand particles are there. And when in the lower side of the auger there are clay particle means we can say alluvial conditions are there like this. And also if there is any intense coloring, black and muddy color or orange color, or sometimes we can see some mottles, naturally we'll call as mottles. If you found any that such kind of mottles, grayish yellowish color mottles, that mottles are nothing but students, whenever you dig a soil which is air restricted or which have improper drainage. See, if you go and take the profile in that particular area, you can see aggregates, on aggregates you can see some brown or yellowish color markings like this. You can see brown and yellow color mark, that is nothing but mottles, we call as mottles. So that mottles, if you observe the such kind of mottles, you can say that particular soil is highly drainage condition was not very bad. So that's why this time of happening. And also if you see any compacting area, when you dig the profile, all the compactions happen, the bulk density was very high, etc., then you can say that the area was completely compacted, so the root penetration was very dull in that particular area. Like that, you can use all this information. If you go for profiling and auger sampling, you can get all this kind of information. On auger sampling, naturally auger sampling is very simple. Just drill it and take the sample, and we can calculate the, we can calculate what is the water holding capacity, what is the bulk density, etc. You can go for auger sampling, and if you dig a profile, we'll get all the information regarding that particular area. So like this, students, like this, we have a different survey. So by using, as we discussed, we have discussed many things about survey. There is very first field survey. There is one of the field survey that is called the grid survey. Do you know what is the meaning of grid survey? Any idea, students? Any idea about grid survey? No idea.
Area will be divided into small parts.
What?
The the area will be divided into equal parts.
Yeah, it actually, the area is completely divided into grids, from vertical and horizontal areas. And from that, they will collect the samples. Actually, this type of survey is very expensive, students, very expensive, very time consuming. It's an area, they will go for grids. This grids length can be taken anywhere. That is depend upon the surveyor. You can take around, you can take around 10 by 10. You can say this is 10 meters, or you can say 10 meters. That is completely depend upon the interest of the surveyor. So like that, and actually, if you want to talk about this grid survey, it will take a very long time. It's a big subject it is. Yeah, and also in the survey also we can go for contour drawing. Contour drawing is nothing but the lines will be going across these samples. It will go like this sometimes. It is not there in your syllabus, but anyhow, it is just for information. I'm saying you can go for contour lining, etc. Grid survey is nothing but, students, it is dividing a grid pattern. There is a transverse lines and are locating a grid pattern. Intents of samples according to the each survey, that is completely dependent upon account the surveyed by so particular analyst. Naturally, number of samples per final map is independent of the scale. It's completely independent of the scale. Naturally, how many samples we can collect, students, in grid survey? Around 4 to 5 observations. We can go around 4 to 5 observations can be recommended per hectare. Per hectare of soils, we can collect the 4 to 5 observations. 5 observations means what? Profiles. We can go for a profiling. We can go for a profiling. We can, and also nowadays, actually in olden days they will do on the plain paper, students. But nowadays, what happened? Nowadays we are using very high method of technology. We are using thematic maps. We are using longitude latitude coordinates. We are using all these things. So grid survey, but overall, student, grid survey is very expensive. Grid survey is very expensive, and this was used for a very small area, like for watershed, agricultural research station purpose, etc. We use all these things we use in a grid survey. And students, this is regarding grid survey, students. And another one is called free survey. So free survey is completely depend upon the assumption, students. The surveyor will observe the aerial photography, and also he will check with the physiography of that particular area, and he'll infer the boundaries. He will see all the conditions of the particular area, and he will see the conditions and will recognize the boundaries of the scaling map, etc. It will happen, and it will give some conditions will be there. So this is regarding the free survey. If free survey, we will free survey is nothing but just, we will compare. We will change our soil boundaries based on the soil color, vegetation, imaginary lines, etc. This is free surveys. Free surveys nothing else to read much. Free survey is very simple technique, is one of the field observation. But overall, students, for our free survey, it is a delineation accurately of the map of an area belonging to one taxonomical unit. So they will classify, and they will observe some hidden observations will be there. You can see, and therefore the surveyor has completely relay with the free survey means we completely rely on the topography. He will check the topography. He will see the vegetation. He will move very freely. He didn't have, no need to take any observations. Just he will go very free survey. There is no need to proper scale. He will go for, he will see the vegetation. He will check the soil color. He will draw the boundaries of mapping, etc. Completely depend upon that purpose on in free survey. Nothing is there, and also he will take some assumptions, and based on the assumptions he will take the augering and min prints. He will take some prints, and he will study the pedonic studies, which is widely spread on one another. So anyhow, overall, students, this is a soil mapping unit. Anyhow, I think, students, Anyhow, students, this is up to today. Is that this is enough up to today? Pre-surveys up to pre-survey is enough. Soil mapping unit and types of soil survey, etc. We will discuss tomorrow's class. Only 4 students, only 3 students are there. We will discuss tomorrow. And once read this about this pre-survey, we will discuss tomorrow class. I will discuss once again. I will discuss about this all these lectures. Thank you, students, for today's class. Thanks for your patience. If you have any doubts, we can ask now. Any questions, students?